Review. I had seen some clips, I guess last year or the year before. I don't know. Whenever the Yellowstone show first started, I guess the first season of the show Yellowstone, and I had seen some clips, pieces of scenes that were shown on whatever Twitter or YouTube or Facebook. I had seen a couple of clips and I thought, wow, the acting's really good. So and I wanted to watch it. And then as I was watching more and more of these little pieces, these little clips that were being shown, I started seeing some, very relatable things about, you know, passion and just in life and family matters. And so I thought, well, and then I wrote a poem about it because I've always been a fan of I guess, the big actor, Kevin Costner. And so, I, anyway, I started watching the show recently and I don't even know how far along I am in the show, but I already am seeing that my opinion has changed now that I'm actually watching the show. I have some issues with the story writing. The acting is phenomenal. I mean, their cast. I'm going to talk about the characters and the cast, and the acting is phenomenal. But the story writing has some major problems, and I get really irritated because of that. And I guess that's all for dramatic effect, but I don't think that I think it is insulting to viewers' intelligence. I do. I think it's insulting to viewers' intelligence. And it's sad because I've seen creators, actors, writers, and stuff that have tried to bring really intelligent or intellectual artwork to the screen and it gets rejected right away because they say it's too sophisticated or too modern or too intelligent. And that's really sad. I mean, but then again, do you know if you realize that the newspapers have been written at a sixth grade level for about 200 years? And there's some people who can't even read that. So I'm just, I'm gonna tell you why there's a problem in the writing and the plot holes, and then I'm also gonna pay respect to the actors who really have done an amazing job with their performances. But this is why this is a review where I'm gonna do a thumbs down on the show because of the plot holes, and I'm gonna blame it on the writing. Um, I'm gonna blame it on the writing. Okay, so let's start with the characters because if you ever watch my reviews on any show, that the characters are how I decide where the where the meat and potatoes of the story is, and then through these characters, I'll be able to show you where the plot holes are. Okay, so this is the family of Duttons on the ranch in Montana. Okay, now personally, I've never been to Montana. I have seen other movies, made in the setting of Montana, and like a river runs through it, which was flawless. But I'm not going to mention other movies that were set in Montana. I don't know anything about Montana. I've never been to Montana. All I know is big mountains, rivers, and trees. That's all I know. Okay, so let's go to the Duttons. Now, the Duttons consist of Kevin Costner, the big name actor in this show. And as a fan of Kevin Costner, I had remembered him in movies that I enjoyed immensely, such as Dances with Wolves and Waterworld. Those were my two favorite Kevin Costner movies. And um, I think his name was also John in Dances with Wolves, which is kind of funny. Um, but that John in Dances with Wolves was really nice. And this John is a totally different kind of a John. Um, John Dutton, Beth Dutton, uh, and then there's Casey Dutton, Rip. They just call him Rip. I don't know his last name. Monica, Jamie, and I guess Jamie's like adopted, so I guess he's kind of like a Dutton. And then Teeter, and those are I mentioned Teeter, even though some people might not think of her as a main character because I think she's the comic relief of the show, and That was really good for the show considering the plot holes that I'm going to mention. Um, and then there was uh, another actor that I knew who played Rourke. I remember him from the show Lost, and and that's all I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of other characters, but they don't really they're not really going through those other characters that I'm not mentioning. They're not going to help me with the point I'm trying to make as far as plot holes. So I'm not going to mention the other characters, but these are the characters where I can show you where the plot holes are. Okay, uh, so there's John Dutton, and he's the big guy, the ranch owner. You know, he's the big guy, and he's got this daughter named Beth, played by Kelly Riley, and she's absolutely amazing. Her performance. I want to say that as an actress, I mean, she is amazing as an actress. But I don't want to talk about Kelly Riley. I want to talk about the character Beth because that character upsets me. It's like you want to love her, but I end up just wanting to also just smack the shit out of her too. So Beth is one of the characters that definitely make a writer realize that there's major plot holes in this story. And then there's John's son Casey, who has this wife named Monica, and the grandson Tate. And Casey and Monica, uh, I don't, I mean, I guess they're just sort of like backup to John or whatever. Although Monica is from the Indian tribe, the Native American tribe, so she's sort of like an outsider. And then, I mean, she's always miserable. He's always fighting every day. He's always fighting. And the only time they're happy is when they're screwing. So, and the romance factored into the show is nauseating because you have the Rip and Beth romance, which is just these basically it's like Shrek and Fiona, the two ogres, and then you have the Casey and Monica romance, which is supposed to be, I guess, the nicer romance, the parents with the kid romance, but the only one who looks happy, like not mentally disturbed is their kid Tate. And then you have Jamie, who's this adopted guy who kills his father, his real father, and then is totally loyal to his adopted father, and yet his adopted father and his adopted sister totally humiliate him and hate him and make his life miserable every day. And then there's this Teeter. She's the comic relief character who comes in and she's like a rancher with the hanging with the boys, doing the cow horse rodeo stuff, and she's the only one who can make you laugh because everybody else makes you want to cry or scream. And okay, let me take a breath. These are the characters. So now I'm going to take a pause from Yellowstone for a moment to go back to me personally, because knowing what I'm going to say about myself is going to help you understand why I'm giving this a harsh critique. Not for the acting. The acting is phenomenal. They should all get, you know, major applause for the acting. But the characters and the story plot holes irk me. So, me personally, I don't even watch TV anymore. I'm always on the computer or I'm talking to the animals. I hardly ever socialize because when I do socialize, it's these kind of characters that make me want to vomit. And so I hardly ever socialize, and it's not because I don't like the human connection. I do like the human connection, but if this show does show anything about why people are so isolated, is because of the obnoxiousness that the show does display. And That's out there. That part's real to me. That, and I don't want to watch that on a show. I don't want to watch what when I go out there and that's what I see, and then I want to take a break and go watch TV and it's the same thing that I get when I'm out there. Obnoxiousness. It's just obnoxiousness. And I don't watch TV anymore because I want to be entertained. People make fun of me because I like to watch, Singing in the Rain. Yeah, you know why I like watching Singing in the Rain? Because everybody was beautiful. Everybody had, multi-talented as far as the entertainment department goes. It wasn't just about kill, 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 fuck, fuck, fuck. It wasn't just about that. It was beautiful. What happened to entertainment? They're crying about the end of Disney and the end of Hollywood. Well, no doubt. It's disgusting. It's ugly, and all is that all that they want today? Is killing, killing, and fucking and fucking? What about beauty? Oh, because you show a couple of pictures of some mountains, that's beauty? Where's finesse? Where's grace? So this is why I don't like the show. I guess, I guess I had written some, I had written, no, I had written some poetry about cowboys, and I had read some romance novels set in the cowboy setting, and it was nothing obnoxious like the show depicts. It was nothing obnoxious like this. And I guess in my own personal life, there's a lot of connections that trigger emotional damages in my brain, like the fact that they have a character, the little boy named Tate, and my son's name is Tate. It irks buttons in me, it really does. It irks buttons in me. And the story plot holes are most evident in the character of Beth. Beth is on one hand, I feel sorry for for the character of Beth, and on the other hand, she blames all the wrong people. She blames all the wrong people for her misery. I mean, she's continually blaming Jamie, her adopted brother, for her misery, and it isn't even his fault. But she wants to make him miserable, like he's to blame. But you know, they show a clip of her, and they blamed her for her mother's death. It really wasn't her fault. It was just an accident. But so she had to carry that guilt, right? But still, again, that has nothing to do with her adopted brother. He wasn't even, responsible for that. She wasn't responsible for that. And they get these blames about the mother dying, and they go back and forth blaming each other, and then she's just they her and her father John continually ask Jamie to do this, to do that, to do this, and he's like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, like continually doing what they want him to do. And then as soon as he does what they want him to do, they squash him like a bug. And it's just despicable. And that's where I see some major plot holes. Her main beef, Beth's main beef with the character of Jamie, is that she had an abortion and she can't have kids anymore, and he took her to have the abortion. Excuse excuse me, plot hole. Jamie didn't do the abortion. Okay? Jamie didn't do the abortion. She got knocked up. How'd she get knocked up? Did Jamie send her to go get knocked up? Where was John, the super father? Huh? Why wasn't she married if she was impregnatable or whatever? Why didn't he get her married? Well, she's bleeding. You don't know that? Oh, well, now she got raped. Well, now she has to have an abortion. She can't talk to her father? What kind of father is that? Oh, so Jamie steps up to the plate and he has to be blamed and squashed forever because he did what she asked? Plot holes. Major plot holes.